Actually, for me, music hit in when I was about 14 years of age. I was originally a big fan of Jacques Cousteau and Tarzan movies, doing the whole outside thing. Really loved that, just a kid going to the cottage. But eventually, I discovered music. And I was about 14, and that was it. I never looked back. So I spent a good 10, 11 years just focused on music till I was about 24, 25 years of age. And, you know, became a songwriter right away, guitar player, singer, and was very strong in it. I used to write for BMG Music, which was a big deal at the time. Signed with, was with the band New Regime out of Toronto in the early 80s. But I left all that to then go back into adventure and survival and all of that when I was in my young 20s, which took me away from music, and now I'm back. Spoken to a scripted fury. Well, depending on which show you come to, I don't want to confuse the issue, but if it's a real sort of a big show with video and a large stage, it's very epic art rock. You know, Peter Gabriel meets U2 meets Tool. You know, but in a place like where I am this evening at Mavericks, it's going to be more in-your-face roots acoustic. Sort of in-your-face roots acoustic. So as opposed to sort of gentle, mellow acoustic, it's more in-your-face roots acoustic. And of course, people know that I blow a lot of harp. You know, on the Survivorman show, they know I blow a blues harp, and so I'll definitely bring that into it. Where it comes from me, I come by it very honestly that, of course, I write love songs. But I also write based on all my experiences surviving in the jungles and the deserts, and primarily, if I were to encapsulate it, would be connecting with the earth. So to me, a lot of what I've done has been about connecting to the natural earth. And my music pours that out as well. We've got a single out now, Arctic Mistress, same thing. That's about, you know, the seduction of the Arctic and connecting with the earth there. But then other songs I'll do, like One Giant Farm Tonight, I've never performed it before, and it's a dark song, you know, it kicks everything right in the butt. Yeah, connect to the earth. I mean, that's it really, you know, and it doesn't have to be like me go off to the jungles or the deserts and do something, you know, big and badass that way. It can be about going down to your local park and just kicking your shoes off and walking barefoot. I think people should walk barefoot in the grass more. I think they should connect with the energy that is the earth and the power that is the natural environment and natural earth. And my music and my show and my words and my stories from Survivorman, they all speak to that. Mediocrity. Because I came out of a mediocre existence. I came out of, you know, West End, Toronto, suburbs, white bread, peanut butter, sticks, and Supertramp. You know, just a young white boy in a white bread neighborhood, you know, drinking beer and you know, and really boredom and boring mediocrity, and that's what I was running from. That's what I wanted to escape, was mediocrity. So I fear it. I fear getting to the end of anything I've ever done and looking back and going, well, that was mediocre. You know, that's something that grips me. You know, and I need to reach and achieve, you know, something beautiful, something powerful. I'd had the idea for Survivorman a long time ago when I was teaching survival and just getting out there and adventuring, guiding, hiking, all of that. And I just thought, you know, it'd be great to teach survival by actually going out and surviving. I knew that would be a very cool way to do it. But I held on to that idea for about 14, 15 years, and then what happened was the CBS Survivor series hit, Mark Burnett's series, and it was not about survival, it was about lots of other stuff, but I started doing these interviews because I was a filmmaker and a survival instructor. And so that's when I knew, aha, now's the time, and I made some calls, basically. And next thing I knew, I had signed the series Survivorman. Yeah, get out to the wilderness. That's my tip for surviving in cities. Actually, you know what? My tip for surviving in the city is I used to go to Etobicoke Creek and walk in with the bush and smell the rotting leaves and the trees, and that was underneath the Don Valley Parkway, you know, at the Queensway. I mean, in the West End of Toronto. You can't get a busier spot. But I was still able to survive in the city by going and touching the earth in a little place like that. And Ottawa is a beautiful green city. There are places people can go and just touch the earth again, even if it's just a half a block down your street. There will. I've actually, I just put out Survivorman 10 Days recently, and that just did extremely well. And so now I'm talking with the networks, and yes, I'm going back out because along with doing my shows, both my video and music and film shows, and then just the rock concert stuff, I still love being Survivorman. So I don't turn my back on that at all. I mean, I love being the adventurer, and so I have more Survivorman 10 Days coming out. I have Survivorman and Son coming out, where I'm taking my 15-year-old son, and we're going to go out. Yeah, that's going to be badass. And can I say badass on phones? Okay, good. And then Survivorman Bigfoot.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, I guess they figured if anybody could find him, it'd be me. So I'm going to get out there and say, okay, Bigfoot, where are you? Well, I've got brand new CDs out just out right now called Wonderful Things. I've just recorded another CD that will be out in a couple of months, and I'm recording another CD in a week or two. So the music is still flowing a lot. I've got my third book with HarperCollins come out that I'm co-authoring with Laura Bombier, my photographer, and then I've got the new series. But the big thing for me is performing. There's nothing I like more than the stage, and so I've got a lot of concerts. Hopefully right now it's sort of sporadic one-off shows, but I'm building to the point where I can say I'm out for 200 days, I'm coming to your city, and I'm going to rock your socks off. Hey, this is Les Stroud, Survivorman, and you heard this by word of mouth.